Legendary shoe designer Chris Law sent me these reissue Daybreaks. I thought it'd be a really good idea to use these two pairs as test dummies. These pairs both have a PU midsole, so that means that we're going to have to use a polyurethane based adhesive. I'm going to be using my sample adhesive products on this job. We got two types. One is a solvent based and one is water based. One pair will bond with the solvent based adhesive and the other pair will bond with a water based adhesive. And Chris can give us some feedback on how well the job worked. Now that these shoes are vintage era, it's really important that we strip them right down in order to get a good bond. It doesn't take too much effort to get these to separate because the glue has gone so hard. I'm trying to stay away from using any kind of heat or solvent because I don't want the glue to melt further into the suede or the nylon and make it difficult for me to get a bond. Sometimes I find it useful to use a rounded off screwdriver or a bone folder to help me try and remove things without damaging the upper. I'm making sure I'm extra careful with a very thin toe lip so that it doesn't tear or rip. I need to prepare the surfaces on both. I'm going to use my crepe rubber to try and remove as much of the glue as I possibly can. And I'm going to use some coarse grit sandpaper to rough up the rubber and remove the old glues. And I might as well get some of the stains out too. Once they're ready, I'm going to use my bench grinder to take that top layer of glue off the midsole. If you don't have something like this, you can just use sandpaper. As you can see, most of the glue is off there. Just going to use some 40 grit, take off the remaining parts. Anything sticky, the crepe rubber will get it off. Just going to use a little bit of acetone to clean up the rubber and get it ready for my adhesive. To help me line things up, I'm going to use my heat erasable pen. I've got this handy scratcher to rough up the surfaces a little more. I can't wait to find out if the water-based adhesive holds up just as well as the solvent-based adhesive. I'm going to use 2 layers of adhesive. The first layer is going to seal in all the old adhesives that might still be present. Glues and adhesives aren't the same thing, and I keep getting them mixed up, so here are the facts. Once that's dried, I just heat up my parts, and while that's heating, I'm going to cut some silicone paper. This stuff really helps me to align the parts. And now to give it a big press in my DIY press machine. For the other pair, we're going to do everything the same, except this time we're using the water-based adhesive. This will need to dry overnight, so make sure that all the water has evaporated. Once that's done, we proceed just like we did with the other pair. There you go. Over to you, Chris. Let me know how they hold up.